What should I put in my letter?
You call this harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, The city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, Child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Hear ye all! The Chising's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors, or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look. Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless? If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Mora is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right, if the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon, so I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, It is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your Gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
You know, this is starting to feel like chili pepper weather. Paimon's hungry for some fresh and fiery, spicy foods that let your taste buds have a blast. And if there's one dish that fits the bill, it's blackback perch stew. Come on, let's pay a visit to Wanmin Restaurant. Guess who's here? Oh, no way! It's the Traveler and Paimon!
Paimon!
Ah, Traveler, welcome. Good to see you. What can I get for you?
We want some blackback perch stew!
All right, blackback perch stew it is. Make yourselves at home. It'll be right out for you in just a moment.
Thanks, Chef Mao!
I was just thinking about you guys, and now you're here. It feels like you heard my call and came running.
You mean you were about to come looking for us?
Uh-huh. There's something I want to discuss with you guys. Did you happen to see how the city looked on the way over here? Everyone's getting ready for the Moon Chase Festival.
Moon Chase Festival? Is that another one of Liyue's ancient traditions?
That's right! Moon Chase is a big festival where we celebrate the arrival of the fall by moonlight. The old folks say that thousands of years ago, this was the time of the year when the Adepti would seek the way. But it's completely different nowadays. We eat our favorite foods, spend time with friends and relatives, enjoy the moon and the flowers. So much easier. Basically, we just do all the things that people like doing and don't take a whole lot of effort.
Sounds like Paimon's kind of festival.
With your great taste in food, Moon Chase Festival is sure to be to your liking.
Hey! If you got a problem with Paimon's taste, just spit it out!
So are you guys free these days? I'm taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs. If possible, I'd like you to be my culinary consultants.
That's right. Getting some suggestions from friends will broaden your horizons.
Masterful Chefs, huh? So is that like a competition?
Right, yeah. I guess you probably haven't heard about it before. Every year, Moon Chase Festival has a different theme, usually picked by the Qixing. This year's theme is Feast of the Bounteous Land, so the Qixing decided to organize a cooking competition.
Feast of the Bounteous Land. Pretty much sums up what Liyue is all about. Great theme.
I totally agree. I heard it was Ningguang that came up with it. She's so amazing and so full of mystery. Well, I want to take part in the competition, but coming up with new dishes is hard work. By the time you finally thought of something, cooked it, taste tested it, it can be hard to judge whether you're really into something or not. And so, I was thinking, I could get the two of you to help by gathering everyone's thoughts on what makes a great dish. I really want to think outside the box this time. And to do that, I'm going to need lots of different ideas from lots of different people.
This'll be a piece of cake! We've got friends from all over the map, haven't we?
You sound pretty confident.
Well, you know, not to brag or anything. But first things first, let's have a delicious one-man meal. After that, we can go around to all of our friends in Liyue and get their ideas one by one.
Okay, great. Also, Guoba should be back soon, so we can all go together.
Here's your blackback perch stew, folks.
It smells so good.
It's my pleasure.
That was so delicious. Theory confirmed, this is definitely chili pepper weather.
Xiangling can be a bit of a handful, so please look out for her while you're out and about.
Come on, Dad. Why would you say that?
Because I know you all too well, my dear. That's why. You mustn't be quite so reckless when you're out in the wild, you understand? You do well to be a little more cautious, like our traveler friend.
Don't worry, we're all friends here. Let's all look out for each other.
Ah, and Guoba's back. Roly-poling around as usual.
All right, let's pack up and head out. know, it's outside the box thinking that we're looking for, right? Hu Tao always seems to have a unique perspective, so let's make this our first stop.
What? My ears are burning. Did somebody say my name? Yeah, it's Paimon and the Traveler. Oh, and Xiangling, too. Oh, of course, Hu Tao. Way outside the box. Meaning, you're here for some other reason, right? How might I be of assistance? Well, Hu Tao, I wanted to ask you, what kind of food do you like? What food I like? Off the top of my head, I don't really have an answer.
Wow, so even Hu Tao gets lost for words sometimes. Paimon sure didn't see that coming.
Come on, even the chirpiest birds clock out for the night, right? I'm no different.
Pretty sure clocking out isn't something birds...
Right! There's no need to overcomplicate it. Just pick a dish and tell me what you like about it. I'm doing some market research. I see. Launching a new dish? Well, let me say right off the bat, nothing weird, okay? Some poached fish, a side of shrimp dumplings. That is all you need. Poached fish and shrimp dumplings? That's a bit ordinary, isn't it? Well, it is and it isn't. Think about it. Poached fish is hot and spicy with a powerful aroma. It's a dynamic dish. Add a side of shrimp dumplings, and there's your static component. Got it? Dynamic? Oh, I can do dynamic. Mushroom slime stew it. No, not that kind of dynamic. A dish is more than substance, it's a mood. Poached fish is red and spicy. It elicits a response from the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. That's why I call it dynamic. Shrimp dumplings are more subdued, clear and smooth with a pure and subtle fragrance. I call that static. Combining dynamic and static is how you create a perfectly balanced meal. A union between opposite but complementary features coexisting in perfect harmony.
Paimon didn't follow that at all. But at the same time, it kinda sounded smart, so...
Okay, dynamic and static. Opposite but complementary.
So is this just another way of saying you should keep everything balanced? You know, a little meat, a little veggie, a little salt, a little sugar?
Bingo! Except I don't think you need to have a sweet dish for it to be a complete meal. Personally, I always skip dessert. Okay, I think I got it. At first I thought you were just goofing around, but actually you make a really good point. How did I ever doubt you, Hu Tao? Thanks!
When it comes to telling tales, the storytellers have got nothing on Hu Tao.
Sounds suspiciously like a compliment to me. I'll take it. Well, at least one of you gets it. Everything in this world runs on its own set of principles, be it the circle of life or sugar and spice. You either get it or you don't. Since the Traveler seems to approve, I'll make sure to factor it in.
Paimon thinks we're pretty much done here now. Let's head to Boo Boo Pharmacy next.
Boo Boo Pharmacy? Yeah, you'll definitely get some interesting responses over there. Is everything okay?
Why, if it isn't the special guests who seldom visit. Less busy than usual, I see. Yikes! What happened to Baiju's voice? Excuse me? The neck. Oh, it's just Changsheng.
Welcome, welcome. Here to procure an herbal remedy, I presume?
No. We actually came for the conversation this time. We're here to talk food.
I'm entering this year's cooking competition, so I wanted to ask you both... Oh, wait, there's 3 of you. I wanted to ask the 3 of you what kind of food you like.
Most astutely self-corrected. We shall surely supply our assistance.
You need to know what food I like? It's all the same. No flavor.
Chi-Chi has some gustatory dysfunction and can't taste any food. Make no mistake, she's not being uncooperative.
Oh, I understand. That's fine. Still, I'd expect Chi-Chi to have some sort of dietary preferences, though. There must be some dishes that you like the sensation of. Sensation? Yes, there's one. Coconut milk. Nice and cold.
Well, that doesn't help us. It's not a dish, it's a drink.
How about you two? Any thoughts?
I like bite-sized morsels of meat.
I agree with Changsheng. Many of our patients are the elderly and young children. They find large chunks of fowl or seafood difficult to swallow and digest. Dishes where the ingredients have been finely chopped, on the other hand, are far more suitable for them. We also see plenty of people with colds and sore throats who find it difficult to eat rich food. From a purely pharmaceutical perspective, I tend to recommend soups and stews.
Got it! Would that be medicinal soups and stews? Medicinal soup. I don't like it.
I must apologize for having such a one-track mind. It's a little difficult to think about food without worrying about the health implications these days. We've had quite the endless stream of patients recently. If you ask me, I think the changing weather is to blame.
That's okay. Everyone's input counts. Keeping it seasonal and suitable for all ages sounds like a pretty good idea to Paimon.
Medicinal dishes have higher demands in terms of nutritional balance than the kind of food I normally cook. I don't usually focus on medicinal properties, but since this is for a competition, maybe I can score more points by taking both flavor and function into account. Food with substance. Always better. Everyone will like it. It's a great suggestion. Thanks, everyone. You're welcome. As long as we could help. It's great to have a doctor's unique perspective. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, how you flatter me.
Receptivity to sensible suggestions make for a savvy chef. Oh, she is! Creating new dishes is Xiangling's favorite thing to do. You can be sure she'll put lots of care and attention into it.
Everyone's got their hobbies, and mine is cooking. Usually I just go with my own ideas, but having a whole new perspective this time is sure to make a big difference to the end result.
Great! That makes this whole trip worth it! Alright, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective and a health perspective. Next, Paimon thinks we should probably talk to some picky eaters.
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. And Xiangling.
Greetings, friends. It's been a while.
Hey, what brings you here?
Has something happened? What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objections?
None here. You know how to get things done, Kuching. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Kuching is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. You, meanwhile, seem only too ready to pounce when an opportunity to publicly lambaste me arises. Even when it means giving our poor mutual friend here the cold shoulder. By no means. You wish to know about the stone, I presume. Then let me invite the great seafarer Captain Beto to tell the story, if she would be so kind.
You... Fine. Well, it's a big one, right? And such a smooth surface, too. Makes you think there's gotta be a good chunk of jade in there.
It was found by a fishing crew, not far off the coast. It must have been underwater for years, so the erosion will be what's given it that smooth finish.
Finds like this cannot be kept as private property, and must be submitted to a holder of public office. Placing it into our custody will also give them peace of mind.
So, what's inside it?
Well, we've hit it with just about every weapon we could get our hands on and haven't managed to even dent it yet. Clearly there's more to it than meets the eye.
No weapon could smash it open. Wow. Paimon doesn't think we've ever encountered a stone like that before.
Kuching has taken an unusually keen interest in this giant stone, which is why we are leaving the matter in her capable hands.
Let's put that aside for a second. Traveler, what brings you here? Were you looking for someone?
Actually, we were looking for all of you. We need all hands on deck here.
Oh? Hopefully not because there's been some sort of cataclysmic event.
No, nothing like that. Paimon's just getting carried away. I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences? That's a little unexpected.
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart, and sophisticated. That is all I require.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you that.
What about you, Beto?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there too, I'm one very happy captain.
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood, piping hot, and, simple but sophisticated. And that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you've heard of golden shrimp balls.
Oh my, they're my favorite.
You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. There's no room for cutting corners. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated. It fits Ningguang's forward summary to the letter. Huh. So what you're saying is, for all the frills and trills, good food is all the same at the core?
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So Kuching loves golden shrimp balls.
I didn't say that. Did I?
No, at least not outright.
Alrighty. Thanks for all your input.
I'll be sure to take it all into consideration.
Traveler, Paimon, do you have anything planned after this? Good. I'd like you to help me investigate something. It's about this stone.
You picked the right people for the job. We investigate stuff all the time.
My thoughts exactly. The Qixing has a public duty to deliver our final verdict to the fishermen, but there are also some things I would like to investigate on a personal level. I'm sure you've become acquainted with the general background of the Moonchase Festival. However, I have my own understanding of this festival's roots. My grandfather was a researcher of Liyue's traditions. In his notes, he indicated that there was a deity called the Stove God in ancient Liyue, which people paid tribute to at a certain time of the year. Very few written records make mention of the Stove God, and those that do are notoriously confusing. Some scholars believe that the Stove God was just another title held by the Lord of Geo, but others suggest that this was a different deity altogether. One folktale even claims that the ancients found the Stove God's shrine, but there was no statue, only a huge, smooth slab of stone. Shortly after it was found, the stone was lost in transit, and it hasn't been seen since. This stone here has all the same features, so I suspect it could be the one that went missing all those years ago. After many years of researching ancient texts, my grandfather came to believe that the practice of paying seasonal tribute to the Stove God may be best described as a festival. He called it the Stove God Festival. That would make it the forerunner to the Moonchase Festival we know today. But this is all just theory and conjecture. To prove any of it, we'd need to start by identifying who the Stove God really was. Now that Rex Lapis has passed on, and Liyue has entered the age of humankind, his successors should continue to respect our nation's culture and traditions, just as he did. That's why I think the responsibility for this situation should fall to me. It's a chance to shed light on our history, revitalize an ancient tradition, and possibly prove my grandfather's hypothesis along the way. With any luck, we'll nail all three in one fell swoop. It was just a couple of days ago that we received this stone. Right after we decided to use food as the central theme for this year's festival. It makes me wonder. Maybe a divine will is at work behind all of this.
3 birds with 1 stone, huh? That's pretty efficient, even for cooking.
Hey, don't worry about that. This sounds super important, so don't mind me. Besides, we're only... Wait a second. I got it!
What? Why are you shouting?
Ka-ching, can I tag along for your investigation?
But...
Since it's all about the Stove God, I might get to learn something useful about cooking along the way. It'll be great inspiration for me in the competition. Please, let me come along. I promise I'll help.
If it means that much to you... Okay, I suppose you can come.
Really? Yay! Thank you so much! You're the best!
Now that that's settled, time to get going. Jingsa Village is said to be home to a lot of historical texts, so I'd like to start by making some inquiries there.
Alright, then it's off to Qingsa we go!
Maybe I wasn't meant for this world.
Go, Barbara, go!
Cool it! Oh, so sorry.
I'm fine. Granny, we need your help with something. Are there any old books around Chingtse Village? You know, from a really long time ago?
Oh, looking for ancient texts, are we? Let me think. There is an old warehouse over there, property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Many books are stored inside. Those that they have no room for at home. In fact, their youngest comes over this way to read sometimes.
The Feiyun Commerce Guild's youngest? You must be talking about Xingqiu. Paimon didn't know they had a warehouse here. Let's go take a look.
Is this an answer from this world?
I'm being robbed!
It came from that direction. Come on!
Fry!
Go, Barbara, go! Let the show begin.
Jab and cross!
Ready, steady, go! Oh no!
Fry! Take two to go!
Prepare to be blown away!
Fry! Picked the wrong test subject.
I've come here to clean the book warehouse plenty of times before, but this is the first time I've run into these crooks.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks to all of you. Hey, wait a minute. You're the Traveler, aren't you? And you're with... Lady Kuching. An honor. Truly an honor.
We'll try not to take up too much of your time. I understand that this book warehouse is the property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Could you advise whether we might find any text relating to the Stove God in this collection?
The Stove God? I heard that's the Lord of Geo, right?
Huh? Really?
Yeah. A friend of mine who conducts research mentioned it once before. We use stoves for cooking, and stoves are built from rock. Some people think that the stove is a gift from the Lord of Geo. And that's why they call him the Stove God.
Seems logical enough. But do you have any books on the topic?
I'm sorry, I'd have to ask the young master about that.
Oh, any questions? Please, ask away.
Hey, it's Chongyun and Xingqiu!
Hello, one and all.
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
I was bored with nothing to do, and thought I'd come out this way for a bit of reading. And then I thought, why not bring Chongyun along too?
Yes, I'm just along for the ride, really.
I see the Yuheng Kuching is with you. Whatever brings you here must surely be a matter of grave importance.
Master Xingqiu, if I may be so bold, do you happen to know if there are any texts on the subject of the Stove God among this collection?
Since I personally selected which volumes to store here, I do have some recollection of their contents. If my memory betrays me not, there is one volume among them called Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the Stove God.
Might I take a look?
Certainly. If it pleases my lady, I shall lead the way. Sheng, I will take care of things here. You're free to go about your own business.
They're back! So did you find it?
Yes, Master Xingqiu has quite an exceptional memory. Demystifying the Legends of Liyue does indeed mention the Stove God. However, it says the following. The body of the dragon wielded a tail that could eclipse the sun, and claws to command fire and teach the ways of wisdom. Receiving the gift bequeathed unto them, humankind cooked food with fire, and thus did they prosper.
The body of a dragon? The stories about Rex Lapis say the same thing.
That much is true, but this is the only passage in the whole book. If we want to find out more, we'll have to continue our investigation. There's nothing further to discover here. It seems we'll have to look at other options.
I come from a long lineage of exorcists, and our family too has amassed a number of ancient texts. Now that you mention the Stove God, I seem to recall reading somewhere that this god once appeared at the Guili Assembly. Of course, I can't say if it's true or not.
Books are penned by people. All they can do is show what the author was thinking. Everyone's mind is different, so every book on a given topic will give a different account. I apologize that we could not help in a more substantial capacity.
Your help thus far is quite ample. Liyue is a vast and rich land. All things that existed here in the past have left their trace. So long as we do not abandon our search, it is sure to bear fruit eventually. Thank you all. We will continue our investigation elsewhere.
Ah, hold up! I had a question too. Xingqiu, Chongyan, could you tell me what kind of food you like?
Food? Oh no. You're not thinking of taking part in the Masterful Chefs, are you?
Yeah, I totally am. What's wrong? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Xiangling, this is a major event. I beg you, please don't cook anything strange for this competition.
What do you mean, strange?
Mushroom slime stew, to give one example.
Okay, fair enough. That dish isn't my most popular. But that's why I'm doing all this research, so I can create some really special dishes to win everyone over.
Well, in that case, I like cold food.
That's because you can't handle hot and spicy, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
My tastes are on the mild side. I prefer gentle dishes with minimal seasoning. Soups and stews, vegetables and broth, seafood or freshwater fish, either boiled or steamed. These kinds of dishes I am most partial to.
No surprises from the Gugua Geek.
Okay, another mild child. Got it.
These are just personal preferences, and everyone's are quite different. Are you sure this eclectic mix of opinions will be of any use?
Of course! You're my customers, and putting a smile on customers' faces is my calling as a chef.
Though Xiangling's market research blade stabs often into the dark, her heart never strays from the noble path.
If anyone can win hearts and minds with their cooking, it's gotta be someone like Xiangling. She's got pure intentions and really cares about the customers.
No, where's all this praise coming from? Knock it off, guys. You're embarrassing me. Sorry for holding you all up. That's all I needed to know. Shall we carry on with the investigation now?
Over to you, Kuching. Where to next?
So we've learned the Stove God allegedly made an appearance at the Guili Assembly. But today that place is largely a wasteland with few traces of human activity. Longshu Inn is close by, so let's stop off there on the way over and see what we can find out.
Forgive us, for this is where we must...
Yes, best of luck. If you run...
Let's go! Next stop...
finally give me a grandson.
Let's dance.
Freeze! Dodge this! This moment will be frozen. Freeze!
I'll protect us.
Cool it! Dodge this! Freeze!
Windblade.
Cool it! Freeze!
A reward on the road. blade!
Let the show begin.
Oh, so sorry. Cool it. Don't push your luck. Dodge this.
You're toast!
I'll keep this close.
Huh? Oh, Traveler. Who are all these people?
Friends of ours! Allow Paimon to introduce Xiangling, Guoba, and Kuqing.
Kuqing? Of the Qixing? She's
Hi.
It's not that. It's... I mean, I'm just your typical commoner. I've never met someone as high up as the Yuheng before in my whole life.
Look at that strong body, those powerful hands, and honest eyes. This guy must be a really great chef.
So, is there something I can help you with? You've come a long way out to end up at Wangshu Inn.
Let me fill you in.
Oh, okay. I see.
Legends claim that the Stove God once appeared at the Guili Assembly. As Wangshu Inn is the oldest extant building in this area, any historical texts from around these parts are likely to have ended up here. Is there a room in this inn for storing books? And if there is, do any of them mention the Stove God?
Well, now that you mention it, we do have a fair few ancient texts here. I remember looking through an old recipe book once. I just need to remember where they're all stored. If you are happy to wait here for a few minutes, I'll go have a look right away. Oh, Traveler, there's something I need to discuss with you.
What is it? We need to pay up or something?
What? No, I wouldn't take your money. We're all friends here. I just wanted to ask if you had the time to make a satisfying salad for me.
A satisfying salad? What for?
Yeah, guy who hangs out on the roof terrace, you know? Good-looking fella, not too tall.
Shh! Don't you think he can hear you?
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, you know who I mean. The boss told me to take care of him, but this guy, let me tell you, he is one tough nut to crack. He usually turns his nose up at everything that isn't almond tofu. But the boss tells me you once made him a satisfying salad, and it all went down so well. So I was thinking, could you teach me how to make it too? That way, I'll have something else in my arsenal.
Oh, so this is for show! You guys really look after him, huh?
Well, that's life, right? You gotta look out for your own people. All right then, wait right here. I'll be just 1 minute.
Clock is ticking! 59, 58...
Sorry for the trouble, Traveler. Okay.
Here you are.
Thank you ever so much.
While Kuching's reading her book, let's make that satisfying salad. Xiangling, what are you gonna do?
I'd love to come watch too, but I don't want to get in the way, so I'll just stay here with Kuching.
Okay, shall we go then?
Go ahead and get started. I'll just watch from over here. I only need to watch you make it once to have it committed to memory. All right, thanks for that. I think I've got it now.
You got all the steps down, right?
Of course. Don't forget, I am the best chef around these parts.
Let's go see what Kuching and Xiangling are up to. Kuching! Xiangling! We're back!
You finished cooking? Good timing. We finished our reading, too.
And? Useful? Or no?
Useful. There is a passage concerning the Stove God, and it's not what we were expecting. I quote, 60 miles to the northwest is the Guili Assembly. Many were settled there, where they hunted in groups, farmed the land, and made their living from what the soil yielded. When the Stove God descended, one god became many, all of which were the height of children. As does a star when it descends into the world, So the stove god went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. With fire, the people at last learned to make hot food, and they dined on rice congee and cooked meat thereafter. This is a radically different account from the one given in Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, and also a conflicting one.
One god became many? Does that mean there was more than one stove god?
Taking the text at face value, that is what it says.
Went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. So did the stove god really go and teach people how to cook firsthand?
Now that's a god who truly cared for their people.
So, we've got two leads, but they contradict each other. How do we know which one to believe?
By continuing our investigation and reserving judgment for now. Thank you for this text, Yanxiao.
It's my pleasure, really. Think nothing of it. If anything, I should be thanking the traveler. Listen, you've helped me an awful lot. Not just today, but in the past, too. I want to make it up to you properly, and as it happens, things are pretty quiet here today. So I'd like to take the chance to treat you all. What do you say? Will you stay for a meal?
Wow, he sure sounds confident in his cooking. I like that. Confidence is one of the best ingredients a chef can have. I really want to try his cooking. I say we take him up on his offer.
It's hard to refuse a generous offer like that. Yes, I think we can fit this in. Yanxiao, we await your culinary creations with great anticipation.
I won't disappoint.
Luck is not on my side.
Everybody, please be seated!
You think you own the place?
I'll sit here with Guoba.
Here we are. That's everything you ordered.
It all smells amazing! I think I've met my fellow finalist.
It smells beautiful!
Strange. I never would have guessed that such a gifted chef worked here. This inn isn't particularly known for its food.
Everyone likes a good meal, whether they're staying the night or just stopping by for a bite. We call it an inn, but the fact is it's much more than that. We have to cater to all aspects of daily life to make this a true home away from home. Please enjoy your meal at your leisure. I should get back to work now.
Yanxiao, are you taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs?
Huh? You too?
Yup, I've signed up already, and I've got my eyes on the prize. Your cooking's delicious, Yanxiao. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the final.
Huh. Interesting. All right, I'll see you there.
What was that? Some kind of power move?
No, it seemed more sportsmanlike than that.
Yup, he's a really talented chef. His food was excellent, and it showed he has a level-headed personality. That's the kind of chef that could be a match for me. I haven't had any competitive cooking experience since my cook-off with Brooke in Springvale. You're too kind. Guoba, what are you doing?
Guoba's eating the...
Those were Kuching's! How could you steal them while she wasn't looking?
Oh, my golden shrimp balls.
Huh?
You ate every last one? Oh, Guoba, we've been through this. When we're with friends, you gotta be on your best behavior, okay? I'm so sorry, Kuching. I promise I'll make it up to you.
What's the big deal? We can just get another plate. After all, it's Yanxiao's treat today.
It's not the same, though. The moment's gone. Sure, you can eat something else, but you can never go back and change the feeling of despair as your food is snatched away from right under your nose! The dining experience is a trinity of emotion, food, and atmosphere, and you've got to have all three to make it work!
I have to say, now that you mention it, that is a very accurate appraisal of the situation.
I'm gonna make it up to you, Kaching. Is there anything you want to eat? Anything at all. Whatever it is, I'll make it for you.
I don't have high hopes for this, but equally I don't want her feeling guilty. Okay, I'll let her do this for me. If you insist, there is one dish that perhaps you could try making for me. It's an old recipe from my grandfather's notes.
No problem. May I see it?
I'll get it to you when we're back in Liyue Harbor. Traveler, have you finished eating? Before we do anything else, let's head back to Liyue Harbor. I need to fetch something.
Next season, nothing will sell.
Need to get something from A to B.